Hey, blessings, peace, love, you know, everything that you wish yourself, I'm wishing for you right now. Now, I'm doing this video right now to bring it to a certain consciousness. Now, if you say you're spiritual, because this is not a Christian conversation, this is about a spiritual conversation. Now, I enlighten you on this based on information that I got from a video, and I'm putting it together with spirituality to share this knowledge. So if you're interested, watch the video. If you're not interested, pass it by. Spiritual Baptist conversation, take the knowledge or pass it by. Now, we all have something called a DNA. Now, DNA really is what tells you your origin. Now, all around the place, you see they're showing you who have this DNA, and how much are you is African, how much are you is German, how much are you is Russian, that kind of thing I'm talking about. Now, I want to show you that in a spiritual way. Now, what happened is that your DNA responds to things. That is why you can't really hide in your DNA. And because you can't hide in your DNA, I want to show you how you can hide in your spiritual DNA. Now, DNA is something, and we're talking spiritual here now, it's about frequency. And let us just suppose that, just remember, I'm bringing something here to you. So let me suppose that German is, it functions on 10 frequency, African on 30 frequency, Spanish on 20 frequency. And if you are a combination of German, African, and Spanish, when there is something that has a deep African culture in it, your DNA is going to respond more in that particular area. It does not mean it would not respond to the Spanish or the German, but it's going to respond more. Why? Because you are a greater composition. So that is why spiritually you might be drawn to certain types of music, certain type of rhythm, certain type of beat. So you find that there are some type of music you would like. Now, if somebody else now have the same composition as you, but they have more on the Spanish side, where you have the tutti, they have where you have the 10, they have the tutti. So I know I'm going to Germany, but that is all right. So they would have a greater love and attraction for German type of music. So what I'm really saying is that everybody have different frequency they just operate on. Why? Because German music, Spanish music, and African music, the rhythm that brings the identity where the culture is concerned, it's a different composition. So that is why somebody go like plenty reggae music. Sometimes you go see a white person liking reggae music, and really it's because sometimes you don't know what's in their DNA. We're talking spiritual thing here. Don't get it mixed up with the carnal, right? So based on your DNA, you go had a rhythm inside of you. You wouldn't know how to identify with it. That's why a white woman go come and nut up. That's why a white man go like real reggae music, right? Like real weed and all that. We're not talking about the bad habit, you know. We're talking about identifying with cultures. And you as a spiritual person have to know that there are different cultures in you. God is cosmopolitan and God is diverse. So God could put anything in anybody. That is why we mustn't, that is why we're not supposed to be racial. That is why we're not even supposed to be religious. Why? Because there is no one defining an individual by a race. Because in that one race, it have other race. Because why? It come like attributes are represented by culture. Like what people just get tied up with Baptists talking about when you start to talk different tongues and things. Different tongues really is the ability for you to manifest the love of God and the diversity of God as a cosmopolitan God. Because how come you as a black man could talk in a Chinese language, when another black man who real black conscious go feel a black man must only talk in African. But you see, he missed the point, because the point is that God is diverse and God is cosmopolitan. And when you could do that, you really showing, go to the day of Pentecost and you go understand what I'm talking about. You really showing that God could really manifest himself in any culture, because cultures are defined as things that they identify with. That is how you develop a culture, because people come in an area and they do certain things become normal to them, and then certain things get identified with that people as a culture. So that is why it has some people, you know, there's like a people that's strong in fishing, and that is identified with that culture. And some people that's strong in farming, they identify with that culture. And what make it go straight to Jacob Churn and you go understand what I'm talking about. It has some people, they're real into administrative thing, you know. So you find this country go have a lot of bauxite mining and steel making, and you know, a lot of timber work, and doing a set of nice crafty set of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. So if you understand what I'm talking about where that is concerned, you will understand that you the God in you identifies with frequency, not with knowledge, with frequency, with rhythm, with vibration, with energy. That is why when music is played, now this is the crunch thing we're coming down to here. Now that is why when music is played, you respond differently to different music. And as you respond differently to different music, why? Because what really happening is that the music interferes with your DNA, your spiritual DNA. You see, and that's why we have to be careful how we deal with music. That is why people could tell you that it's a demonic music, and I know like that is very true. That's why people could tell it a spiritual music. That is why, and this for Baptist conversation here now, that is why when Baptists go and moon, they could bring all them different hail. That is why when Baptists go and moon, they could bring all them different adoption. That is why Baptists could travel under the ocean, they could travel on the water, they could travel in the jungle, they could travel in the forest, they could travel in the earth, they could travel in the air. Why? Because the DNA of spirituality, it have no limit. The DNA of spirituality is something that God could teach you his wisdom of the earth. God could show you what he really manifests when he manifests the earth. Right? That is why you don't walk in the earth, that way you stand in the earth. So when you're looking at understanding, it's literally understanding. So there's something that is hidden, but God is making it known unto you. That is why you could get knowledge from under the sea. It's really, you had to go in. It's a little more transparent, because water is something that is not as tough or knitted as in mass as the earth. But God showing you to have a lot of things that I could teach you by you knowing. That why God, if you really love God and you don't love nature, something wrong with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because to love God is to understand and appreciate God through the natural things that are there, the things that man didn't make, and even more through the things that eventually man make that you can appreciate. So next time you study music, next time you study yourself, study what really is your composition, study what really God really saying by when he made you. The ability to praise God, that potential to praise God was placed inside each and every one of us. That is why music is so dangerous. That is why praise is so powerful. That is why worship is so powerful. That is why demons just had to run. Because it has certain frequencies they can't really take. You understand what I'm saying? It has certain words. Words make up composition of frequencies. That is why some words you have to say loud and some words you have to say low. That's why sometimes God requires you to go in your closet, shut the door. But you want to have a personal conversation with you that is developing a certain frequency. That is why when you go and moan, they just give you hymn. Because that certain hymn does resonate within your DNA. Listen, there's plenty to talk. But here what's happening. I want you to stop looking at spirituality from a religious standpoint and look at it as energy and vibration, and that's really you and God. So take the knowledge or pass it by.